All right. So this is episode 3 of the Supreme Wrestling Federation game that I'm running. Now, we're building up to Master of Puppets, and I can say I have quite a few impressive signings so far from expired contracts and things like that. And there's some deals I'm working on that I'm really excited for. I'd hate to say it, but I think my roster is starting to get a little bit overstacked with star power. Now, with that said, I do have a couple injuries. Obviously, I've got 4 key guys like Jack Bruce are out for about a year. Well, Jack Bruce is out for a year. Other guys are out for a little bit shorter, but it has messed with some of my booking. So without further ado, let's get into this. This is the show opener. It's a dark match between Little Bill Lebowski versus Ozzy Gold. Ozzy Gold went over. Basically just a squash match just to help Ozzy get a little bit of recognition with our fans. E+, not good. All right, so I did a tag team match before the show with no real tag teams. Just slapped a bunch of guys together, testing out some chemistries and things like that for some future ideas I just briefly had in my head. The actual match didn't do too bad. It got a B-. Cobra was the weak link. Whatever. The winners were Frederic Antonio Garcia and Joe Sexy. I feel like their names play off each other really well. That whole narcissist kind of thing going. So I may end up teaming those guys up. You guys probably have noticed I really like tag team wrestling, especially when there's cohesive teams. All right, pre-show bout. Jack Griffith versus Hell's Bouncer. Pre-show bout, Hell's Bouncer defeated Jack Griffith with the Damnation drop. Jack Griffith didn't do too well. Had a D. Hell's Bouncer had a C-. The match got a D+. Now for a pre-show match, whatever. But Hell's Bouncer with the C- is pretty impressive. So hopefully we can keep that up moving forward. All right. And the last pre-show bout had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Davids in Black defeated High Stakes in 12-12 when Des Davids defeated Sammy Smoke by pinfall with a quarterback sack. Des Davids carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. Got a C+ total. Kind of what I expected. That's the C+ is a little higher than I expected, but the individual performances are around where I thought they would be. So I'm not disappointed with that. That's pretty good. May end up making me use these guys a little bit more. All right. The show starts with Skull to Bones walking through a corridor. What could Skull to Bones be up to tonight? Richard Eisen is with Robbie Retro in the ring. He says, I have decided to give Retro a nice, easy tune-up match tonight, and he will be facing Bulldozer Brandon Smith. Now, that's not actually what he said. Sorry. I wish it would give you the segment name. Anyways, I titled this segment that Richard Eisen makes a battle royal for the #1 contender for the television title. And Bulldozer Brandon Smith is one of the guys. He wanted to give this to up-and-comers who haven't been established stars yet in the SWF, and so he puts 10 guys who are relatively unknown to the audience in the match. Did pretty well, got a C, so I'm happy with that. Creation of a pre-booking. Yeah, I'm just going to continue. All right. Poor match. Killer Shark defeated Brett Biggins in 5:34 by pinfall with a big bite. Brett Biggins had an in-ring performance of a D. Killer Shark had an in-ring performance of a D+. Now, again, I hate the Killer Shark name, and Brett Biggins I'm not a fan of, so he's kind of like just a jobber for me. But Killer Shark, I'd like to eventually do something big with him. I'm reaching for inspiration right now. The Ring Generals cut a backstage promo. This promo, what they do is they basically say, we've been tag team champs for a while. We want to issue an open challenge at Master of Puppets to any tag team that thinks they can defeat us and take our straps off of us. They also debuted their brand new manager, Dharma Gregg, which she actually did really well. She helped lift the segment. She debuted her new Girl Next Door gimmick, which was above average. You know, I'm happy with that. I think without her, that would have been a rough segment, but with her, it got a C, so I'm cool with that. In a poor match, Masked Patriot defeated James Prudence in 820 by pinfall with a Patriot Slam. It got a D+. Masked Patriot was a D. James Prudence was a D+. You know, whatever. Give some popularity to the Masked Patriot. And, you know, pisses James Prudence off some more, so whatever. And about that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. The Cool Canadians, they're one of my least over tag teams, defeated Hero Squad and the A-List in 1046. The A-List was first eliminated, and then the Hero Squad. Wow. Impressive. Chemistry, I already knew. Got the crowd hotter. You can see the guys who won are both D's. Huey Cannonball did well, and Jungle Lord did really well. Jungle Lord's improving in technical skills. So I did not choose a winner on purpose. I made it an open match, and I wanted to see what would happen. I'm really surprised the Cool Canadians won. I kind of like that, actually. Helps get them a little more popular. Drew Hawkins is walking backstage past the door to the mystery guest's locker room. He looks around, takes a peek inside, then hurries off before anyone catches him looking shocked. Basically, the idea is Drew Hawkins walks by the locker room and sees somebody that he did not expect to see. Who could it be? Now, the person he saw is none other than Cameron Vesey. The idea that I had here is that the crowd, obviously the crowd doesn't know really who he is from SWF. However, the announcers go crazy saying, oh my gosh, it's you know, Cameron Vesey, relative to Brian and Larry Vesey, great wrestlers, you know, of a bygone era, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, decent wrestling. Stephen Parker won a battle royal in 1702. The final four was Mikey Lau, Jimmy Hernandez, and Kirk Jameson, with Mikey Lau being the final elimination. Bulldozer Brandon Smith got the most eliminations over the course of the match. Cameron Vesey debuted his Blue Chipper gimmick. It's above average. He's getting better. Not suited for his gimmick. So this means that Stephen Parker, and I'm going to write this down because I did not choose the winner of this either. Sometimes I like to surprise myself. So Stephen Parker versus Robbie Retro, or whoever is the TV champ coming up at Master of Puppets. So that was a C+, not too bad. Richard Eisen is with Robbie Retro. He says he has decided to punish Retro and that he will be facing Akuma in a match. So this is true. He basically tells Robbie Retro, because Robbie Retro, the idea was that he actually congratulated Stephen Parker on winning and was pretty excited for him, and Richard Eisen did not like that. So he makes a match of Robbie Retro versus Akuma tonight. Got a C+, not bad. Eisen didn't like, he refuses to use the script, but then when he goes off script, he bombs it most of the time. Appropriate, yes, I'm just going to continue. All right, About had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Robbie Retro defeated Akuma in 532 when Akuma intentionally got disqualified. So much like Hell's Bouncer before, Akuma was pissed in this match and just took his anger out of him and didn't even care about winning. And yeah, Robbie Retro makes defense 16 of his title. He got a C+, Akuma got a D-. All right, Valiant had an interview hyping his upcoming singles match with Squeaky McLean. Now, Squeaky McLean is injured. However, Valiant is keeping things going, keeping the title warm, basically. And what I mean is he's keeping the rivalry going, even though McLean hasn't been around. Now, so he cuts this promo, and he's in the ring, obviously, before his match with prototype Primus Allen. So got an A. And then we cut to his match. Decent match. Valiant defeated Prototype in 10-15 by pinfall with a V split. Valiant makes defense number 3 of his SWF North American title. So he got an in-ring performance of an A, and Allen got a D+. Not very good, but the overall rating was good, so I'm happy with that. They're both improving in performance skills, so that's good. Remo attacks Anchor Gilmore backstage and leaves him down and out. Anchor Gilmore was walking towards the ring for his match, and the idea is that Remo beats him up and is just going off, basically putting over their feud that's been going on now for the world title. Got an A, so that's good. All right, an exceptional match. Angry Gilmore defeated Murat Koklov in 14-14 by pinfall with an anger management. During the match, we also saw Skull to Bones distract Koklov, and Remo accidentally Angry Gilmore makes defense number 3 of his SWF World Heavyweight title. Not enough selling shown. That's kind of par for the course with Koklov in the ring. Boosted both of those feuds. A B isn't bad, so we'll take it. All right. Now, after the match, though, you see Brandon James come out, Skull to Bones, and Drew Hawkins all in a massive stare down. Master of Puppets is heating up, by the way, with all this going on. Who knows what will happen at Master of Puppets. Joey Morgan versus Brandon James in a post-show match. Brandon James defeated Joey Morgan by pinfall with the big money move, and only got a C. Both guys individually performed better, so I'm curious why it didn't do better. Short match length, post-show, and so the workers weren't taking it seriously. Okay, they didn't give it their all. In a post-show bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Drew Hawkins and the Ring Generals defeated Marshall Dillon and the Amazing Wolves in 12:41 when Drew Hawkins defeated Marshall Dillon by pinfall with the full moon rising. Drew Hawkins was head and shoulders above everybody else. Well, yeah, I kind of expected that. I'm assuming it's the same kind of thing. Taking it seriously, yeah. Okay. So that's the show. Overall, I got a B. Proved our popularity in 3 regions. Because, again, I was really trying to push for Drew Hawkins versus Jack Bruce at Master of Puppets. Basically, I'm slotting him in somewhere in the main event, whether it's somehow a Skull to Bones or somehow in the title match. I'm not sure still, but by putting him in segments with all the guys, I feel like it makes it believable that he could slot into one of those matches somehow. So let's quickly check our emails and see what we got. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to let you see the emails. You'll just have to wait. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear your thoughts on my booking. If you think it sucks, if you think I need to do a better job on something, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. So thanks. Talk to you guys later.